Well, good morning, everybody. Happy 4th of July. Model cars and coffee on the 4th of July. Doesn't get any better than that, does it? God, it's great having an extra day off. So I'm here. Uh, just had a couple of donuts and drinking my coffee. Not awake yet. Couple things. Something I want to talk to you guys about before we talk about models, and I'm excited to show you what I got yesterday. I got the parts for my Camaro, but today, 4th of July, Independence Day, great holiday, and kind of kicks off the party summer, here anyway, right after Memorial Day. But anyway, also, number one day of the year to lose your dog because of fireworks. Lucy is terrified of them. My daughter's one Frenchie Chunk, he's terrified. I mean, he just terrible time, and a lot of dogs do. Some dogs it doesn't bother for whatever reason. My last dog, it scared her to death, Heidi, and so make sure don't let your dogs out this evening to do. I mean, our yard is fenced in. A lot of people's dogs are used to walking around the front yard unfenced or whatever, but the fireworks, especially now because of the mortars are so big and so loud, scares them. And we had an incident here in our neighborhood probably 10 years ago. People's golden retriever neighbor shot Roman candles right into their yard on their family gathering. Their golden retriever bolted, and we ended up participating in finding this dog. He was actually on the highway at the end of my street by the airport. And I had left for a few minutes and come back. I'm not sure. I can't remember what I was doing at the time. And there was a young couple in the middle of the highway on foot. And I pulled over and I said, what are you doing? It's pitch dark. And they said a golden retriever was running down the middle of the highway. And I said, oh my God, it's my neighbor's dog. So I went and got the people. And the dog had actually run back into the marsh that's north of our house here. And they did get him back. But that could have ended a lot worse. And last night, I had to go help my granddaughter and her boyfriend work on her car. And while we're standing there under the hood, again, pitch black, and her dad lives on a fairly busy cut-through road. And her boyfriend looks down and says, there's a dog. And I didn't see it, but there was a dog standing next to us. And she went to touch the dog or talk to the dog, and he ran across the street in the darkness. She ran out to the edge of the street and was trying to stop cars, and he ran across the street and bolted off down the road, and we couldn't see him because it was so dark out there and the lighting was not very good there. And just another case of how this happens. And these poor dogs, either they could get killed by a car or whatever, or they just get lost. They end up lost. Sometimes people don't get them back. So hang on to your dogs. Be wary of people walking their dogs if you're shooting off fireworks. Just be careful. And it always worries me. And Debbie and I will go see fireworks this evening. We have an organized fireworks celebration, so we'll go watch that. But then when we come home, usually what happens, we end up with Lucy covered up in a blanket on Deb's lap and holding her the rest of the evening because she's scared to death of fireworks. And they on the beach side especially here, which is right across the water from me where I'm at, they just blow the place up all night long till 2 or 3 in the morning. So just something to be aware of. Hang on to your pup and take care of them, because the fear, they just get so scared they can bolt. And the other thing I don't know if you guys follow the Asher House, which Lee Asher, he has a nonprofit for animal rescue in Oregon, and I follow him on Instagram. Really, really good guy, and I get choked up watching his videos all the time because I have a big heart too for animals, and unbelievable what people do to animals, dogs and cats in particular. It's just unbelievable. So I try to support him. You make donations. It's a nonprofit. And you can buy t-shirts or hats or whatever too if you want to do it that way. But I would encourage you to support Lee's organization because they do a lot of good things. He's usually got about 200 animals on his property. He has 240 acres of fenced-in area where the dogs and horses and pigs, he's got all kinds of animals they've rescued, and they can pretty much run free. It's all fenced in and safe, and they have veterinarians. They have tons of rescue people that go with them, and they fly to places, and they usually go to high kill vet or drawing a blank, the high kill centers where they have, dogs and cats, and they take the animals that are red tagged, so and find homes for them. So please support that foundation if you can, because the money actually goes to good. I know ASPCA has the heartbreaking commercials, but honestly, 85% of the money that you donate to them goes to, they spend millions of dollars in advertising every year for those heartbreaking commercials. And yes, it's sad, but a very small amount of the money actually goes to the organization and gets distributed. And they always say, from what I've read, the best money you can spend donating is give it to your local humane society. If you want to make a donation, do it with them. So anyway, we'll get away from that. So the Camaro. So stoked with these parts that I got yesterday. So these came from, there we go, let's get some light up there, Hooligan Scale Models. I love this sticker. Hooligan Scale Models, more plastic than a Kardashian, which is pretty damn funny. He sent me the sticker with my order. So check this out. Got the high-rise hood for the Camaro. This thing just drops right in there. It had hinges on them, which I cut off because I wanted it to just be lift off, but fits nice. That's what I wanted, that high-rise look. I love these high-rise hoods. Also got the rear window louvers, and on my interior, I stuck this tub in here. Let me get this out of here for you guys. I ordered a couple sets of seats, but these are awesome. These are Bugatti seats, and it's really cool because the pattern, the straight line pattern in the bottom of the seats matches the interior of the Camaro. Of course, it turns kind of into a diamond here at the top, but that's okay. I'm just going to have to grind this off, but they fit right in here. They're tall, and these are just killer. I mean, they just got a great look to them and really, really well printed. I mean, there's just no crap to fool with on there. Maybe a few little burrs I'll have to clean up, but not much. So really, really, really happy with this, but and really just, I mean, the hood is just bitching. Look at that nice big profile. It just came out so good. Like I said, it just drops right into place. So really, really happy about that. Also got some cool thrush mufflers. Not sure if they're going to go on this build, but it actually has the raised thrush with the woodpecker head on it. Those are awesome. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them on this build. I also got, let's see if I can get this out of the Ziploc here. This is a triple blown 1/25th scale motor. It's pre-drilled for your plug lines. Check that out. Look at that pulley system, just crazy. This is going to go into something fun at some point. I don't know what I'm going to use it in yet, but that's just awesome. I used to do the old Creepy T came with either a double or triple blown motor. I use that in a lot of my builds. This is a 1/12 scale 572 blown Chevy motor in this bag. This is a black box print, which I don't know if you guys don't mess with 3D print stuff much, but black box prints are really the top quality stuff that are out there. And this was only 30 bucks on eBay. I mean, I've been paying a lot more than that to some of my other vendors for this exact same motor. And so I was really stoked about this. And I got another set of the Recaro seats because I was kind of tossed between these Bugatti seats. I didn't know what they were going to look like. So I got another set of the Recaro seats. Well, sure, I'll use on something else. But this is what I used in the Gremlin, and these are just bitchin' too. I mean, they're really, really good quality. So, real happy with all of my purchases from them. So again, that's Hooligan scale models, and they're on eBay. And I think Mike told me they actually have a website as well. So, and it's cool because it's got a Challenger or a Cuda, an old one, in his hand, a green one, right up my alley. So yeah, so doing that. What else is going on? This is the completed frame for the Coca-Cola truck. So that's coming along. Got it all in primer. All of my parts are cleaned. I managed this week, during the course of the week, to get all of the parts cleaned, and I'm starting to primer everything. So I've got my ideas what I'm going to do with that as far as paint. I'm working on that on the side. This, I don't know if you guys remember, I bought this boat maybe a month ago, and it comes in 2 pieces. Unfortunately, it's got a giant like dovetail connection here. And I had filled this thing and smoothed it and had it just absolutely great. And in the course of final sanding, it flexed and it cracked all of my seam that I had done on it. So I had to reapply some liquid glue down in there to fill that. I've got it to stop flexing now. It's all hardened down in there, but back to square one. I'm going to have to sand this entire, and the seam is still pretty evident. I was really kind of surprised. It looked so much better before I got the primer on it, but seam's still pretty evident. So another round of sanding, and it's such a shame because this is a really cool hull and cool big outboard and cool interior, and it's still, I mean, I'm going to do it. It's just going to take more work, but more work that I wish I didn't have to do, to be honest with you. So this was another eBay purchase, vendor here in Florida. But you know, I really wish they could have printed the hull in one piece. Maybe his printer's not big enough. I don't know, but that's going on. I had also pulled out the Roth, the mailbox trike this week, because I thought, well, I built one of those other little trikes a few weeks ago, just kind of on the periphery of everything, and you know, just did a little work here and there, and I take it to the office and fiddle with it. So I pulled this out, and I got out my my Roth books and just started, you know, kind of going through. I just wanted I was going to print some pictures of it, and I didn't realize how wrong this kit is. I mean, it is way off, way off. I mean, and I guess if you just want to build it as it is and be satisfied with it, that's fine. But basically, the roof line is way off, because even though the real Roth bike is a C cab, it actually, the roof comes up to C cab and then it goes up again and then comes out. So there's a big section of that incorrect. The gas tank is also very incorrect. The tank is more of a peanut tank, and then in the middle of it, it has a raised area, a rectangular kind of raised area that has a set of gauges, one on top of the other, facing the cab. So that's off. The motor is also incorrect because the real bike has a Crosley engine in it. This has, I think this is like a Honda, like a 750 motor or something like that. This is kind of just what they used in a lot of the kits. Yeah, it is actually a 750 motor. So I think it was a Honda 750 motor, if I remember. I don't know. And the rims are wrong. So it's way off. I mean, the tires and rims things, that's easily correctable. Not going to find a Crosley motor in 1/25th scale to adapt to that, so that's not going to happen. But I think the cab could be modified. So I'm gonna put this away for now, and at some point I am going to probably cut that body up and modify that where it is correct to the actual Roth trike. That Roth actually didn't do most of the work. That was pretty much, and it wasn't even, Doug didn't do it either. There was a guy named Jake Jacobs who actually did all the body up and everything on that, and pretty much set up the frame, the motor, everything on that trike completely. And a friend of Roth's, and I think he was involved with Choppers magazine, you know, when Roth was a big part of that. And when it got to the fiberglassing, he just kind of froze up, didn't want to do it. So Roth kind of stepped in and took the bike over, or bought it from him, whatever, and finished it, did all the glass work, and then of course painted it up. And they put the mailbox chopper thing on it, and he did that. He wanted that picture or illustration of it in their Choppers magazine. They had a mailbox section where people wrote in, letters asking questions or whatever, and he wanted that to be the heading on there. So that's kind of where that whole mailbox chopper thing came from, and it does kind of have the mailbox shape to it. So, but he actually really didn't build the majority of that bike. So, again, one of those kind of, and that's really like not one of his most well-known builds. Another build that Ed did that a couple of my friends who are huge Ratfink people didn't even know about it. You've probably seen, he did a Ratfink sitting up riding on a little car that he rode in parades. He was inside of it. It had electric motors and starter motors in it he built, and he had all these horns and whistles, and he would drive it around during parades and scare the shit out of people with all these really loud horns that are in it. But he also built another kind of a flat ride-on Ratfink. It really wasn't a Ratfink. It was yellow. It was called the Peace Rat. And it was kind of a rat kind of laying on its belly, and it's got one hand up in the peace sign, its tongue hanging out. It's a typical Ratfink looking, and it's kind of just rudimentary, mounted on a car chassis. And I think that car is actually, or whatever it is, really not a car, but it's a ride-on. I think if I remember, it's in Sweden. A collector in Sweden or Norway, someplace like that, bought it, and it's in a museum there. But a couple of my friends, they didn't even know. I showed them a picture, and they're like, he didn't do that. And I was like, yeah, he did. And they were like, well, we've never seen it because there's very few pictures of it. But it's out there. And again, it's called Peace Rat. So look that up if you haven't seen it. It's pretty cool. But it's in like the basement of this museum. I wish guys at Galpin could get their hands on it and get it back here and get it in the collection there. It would be awesome, because I think it's in pretty good original condition, all the original paint and everything. So he's yellow, but he's pretty cool. But anyway, I think that's everything. So oh, and I will, the dude at Hooligan sent these tiny little emblems with the 572 motor. It says 572 Hooligan equipped, and they're like badges, that you could put on the side of a car or whatever. Like if I put that motor in the car, I'm not putting that motor in this Camaro. At least I don't think so. I'm going to build the engine blocks up, the kit block, and I'm going to build this up. But I've got to figure out what I'm going to do because I can't. Obviously, this hood is not tall enough to take the tall tunnel ram that comes with the kit, but I don't want to do the stock motor either with just an air cleaner under there. So I got to come up with something. I may try to get Joe or somebody to print me an under the hood blower in 12th scale that I can adapt to either one of these motors, whether it's the 572 or it would be nice to drop this 572 motor in there. I've got an extra one. I bought a couple I got one for the boat, the other drag boat that I'm working on. And then I've got an extra one. So it might be kind of cool if I can cram that in here, if it'll fit. So I'm going to build the blocks up and see what it looks like, see how much room I got to work with. And then I'll get a hold of one of these guys about printing me some kind of really cool intake, whether it's a blower or some type of carburation setup or whatever. So I'll figure that out as things come along. But anyway, I'm waiting on tires and rims. Should be in this week. Let's see. No, I don't have it here. Mike. Had the sticker here anyway. My tires and rims are coming from Z-Force Model Works. This dude is Mark. God, great stuff. He really, I contacted him because I picked out some really killer rims and tires that he's got on his site, and I said, can you do these in 1/12 scale for me for this Camaro project? And he fired back within a couple hours, like, absolutely, I can print those in large scale, and sent me an invoice, and literally they were done the next day and shipped. So they should be here any day, possibly by Saturday I might get this. So great guy. He's the one that does all of the Hot Wheels rims and tires. That he did those for me, and I had gotten his name from Kent Forrester, and God, they're so nice. That's what's on the Gremlin. So you've been seeing those, but another really good vendor, you know. And I think the biggest problem we've run into in the past, and Chuck and I have both run into this, you know, you get some of the guys they're starting businesses as 3D printers, and they're gung ho for about 2 to 3 months, and then the bottom falls out of it. So whether they get overwhelmed or they start having problems, or the parts just, something happens, and you start getting, you know, shitty work, and the stuff just starts taking weeks, months to get to you. And it just kind of, you know, we have seen this happen over and over the last couple of years as this has gone on. But there's some guys out there, you know, like at Z-Force, a lot of you guys are using this dude, Jay's resin wheels, and he's really good too. I mean, his stuff is crisp. Little or no cleanup at all on this stuff. I've been using these on my truck models, his stuff. Another really, really good printer. Same thing. The product's to you quick. It's clean. None of that sticky shit. That's the other thing. A lot of these guys are not, I think they're in such a hurry. They're not curing the parts completely. So you'll get a bag of parts and they're all sticky and gooey. I mean, I have my own curing light that I actually bought for that reason, because some of the stuff shows up all gummy, you know, because I think they're just printing so fast and they're not allowing enough curing time. So, but you know, when you find a good vendor, you know, throw their name out there and help these guys out, you know, because a lot of these guys they're turning it into a business, and I think that's awesome. You know, I think it's great, especially with the hobby. And you know, because it wasn't that long ago that our hobby was literally dying. You know, I'd say 10 years ago, you know, there just wasn't a whole lot going on. They were starting the reissue program, which is great. And it's a lot of guys my age, your age, that are supporting the hobby still. But now, just in this last, say, 5 years, you're seeing so many young builders back again and doing some fantastic work, you know. I mean, really, really good stuff. And of course, it's not all cars. A lot of them are into, you know, or the tuner cars, but the Gundam robots and stuff like that. But that's fine. That's great. They've still got their hands in it. They're building something, and some of those are just beautiful. I've built several Gundams. My son's built some, and they're awesome, you know. And most of those are like Bondi kits. They go together, you know, just beautifully, like a well-made puzzle. They literally, almost everything snap fits. I've done a bunch of Star Wars figures. I gave most of that stuff to my son, the Star Wars figures that I did. But yeah, I mean, it's just good to see the hobby thriving at this point. So that's what we want, keep things going. So anyway, okay, yeah. So I'm gonna start prepping the body on the Camaro maybe this weekend. It's got a center seam on it, right down the roof and the trunk. It was on the hood too, just a little fine seam. So that's got to come off. I already took off. There's a place where an antenna goes on the fender. I'm not putting an antenna on the fender. Just smoothing that out. But this body's really nice, so not a lot of work. But gonna start. Next thing I'm gonna do is sit down, start going through the instruction sheet, figuring out what colors are going where. So got some great ideas for the paint scheme on this. So it's gonna be fun. So anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go because this is getting really lengthy. We're at 23 minutes. So have a safe and happy 4th of July. Spend some time with your family and celebrate our independence. We're so damn lucky here. I mean, I think we're still, the United States is the best place in the world to live. I mean, for me. I mean, I know there's a lot of other beautiful countries out there, and a lot of you guys live there, and wonderful places, and maybe not so much bullshit that's going on as there is right here, right now, and all this crap in the news. This has been a rotten week for the news. I mean, I could care less what P. Diddy's doing. You know, he's, you know, criminals belong in jail. That's the bottom line. You know, you do wrong, you get wrong, go to jail. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But what a waste of time and tons of money, you know, and our media just, you know, I don't get it. I don't want to come home and watch that on the news. I want to find out what's going on in the world, and it'd be nice to hear some good news and not look at this bullshit every night. But anyway, okay, finishing my coffee and gonna just hang out, and I will talk to you guys later. Enjoy your day. Be safe. Be happy. Keep building models. And I'll talk to you soon.